Hi everybody, Kirsten here, and it has been 2 months since my last video. I feel like I'm always starting out these videos with like, it's been so and so long since my last video, I'm really sorry. But there's just been a lot of stuff that's been going on here personally that I just have not been able to have the time to sit down and do one of these. I've been working a ton. My son was in and out of the hospital from mastoiditis and double ear infections and all of that. He's fine now. Recently, my dad moved out. He was living with us. He's now moved out, so this apartment is just mine and Liam's now, so we've been kind of getting into the swing of that as well. And it's con season. Like, I don't know if any of you are aware, or if you go to cons or anything like that, but it is con season. And at the end of this month, actually next weekend, is Emerald City Comic Con, and I am not going as a con goer this year. Usually I am there in my cosplay with my child in tow, buying a ton of crap. I'm not doing that this year. This year I'm going to be a makeup ambassador for the Espionage Cosmetics crew. There are going to be 2 booths this year. If you follow me on Tumblr, I will post more information about where those booths are going to be located as I find out more information about where I'm going to be. And if you want to come and say hello while I'm working at the booths, get a nerd manicure, buy yourself some awesome nerd themed makeup, definitely do that. I will be at both of those booths on Saturday and Sunday of next weekend. So definitely come by and say hi. I would love it if you did. And if you are unfamiliar with Espionage Cosmetics, I'll put a link to their website below, but it's espionagecosmetics.com, and they are amazing and they have so much fun stuff that you should definitely check out if you have not already. With that being said, I have the largest of large book hauls today. It's going to be the biggest book haul that I have had, mainly because I've purchased so many books lately, but between my awesome tax return and, you know, all of these books that have been coming out. I'm not going to be talking about any of my ebooks, because if I was talking about all the ebooks I've also purchased, then we would be here forever. There are going to be some books I'm like, I don't know what this is about, I just bought it because it's pretty. And there's going to be some books where I know what it's about, and there's going to be some books that I've read already. So that's what this video is going to be, and I just wanted to go ahead and put this out there. Also, I have a ton of book talks that I'm going to be uploading, editing, and posting on this channel over the next week or 2. These awesome 6 books I have book talks for, recorded for, and everything already. I just have to edit and upload them. And they are these awesome. Some of these are actually going to be talked about in this book haul video. But if you see any of these books on here that you want to hear me talk about, they're going to be up there soon. So yay, book talks. So let's just go ahead and get into the swing of this. I'm going to start with all my hardcovers first because they're the prettiest to look at. So the first book that I have was actually one of my most anticipated releases of 2015, and that is The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I read this book. I love this book, and I think everyone should read and love this book. It's absolutely fantastic. The only thing about this book that is a little meh is it is a mashup of like all of my favorite books into one book. So it isn't really that original of an idea, but everything is just kind of like smashed together, and it makes it this new thing, and I absolutely love it. It's awesome. It's a fantasy book, and who doesn't love a good fantasy book about a young girl with powers? Like, hey, I do. That's why I read the majority of them. The next book I have is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This is a YA contemporary. I absolutely loved it. It is so absolutely fabulous. The reason why I picked up this book, I probably would have never have picked this book up if it wasn't for Goodreads, because every single person that I follow on Goodreads, they have like given it no less than 4 stars. So I was like, if almost every single person I know is reading this book and absolutely loves it, I should probably pick it up, read it, and love it too. So that is why I got it. The next book I have is Seeker, and this is by Arwen Dayton. This is also another epic fantasy YA. I'm not going to talk about whether I liked it or not yet, because I have a book talk that I'm going to be uploading today that is talking about this book. So that's what this book is. And it's beautiful and it's big. I love big, beautiful fantasy books. There's just something about them that's just absolutely fantastic. So the next book that I have in this book haul is Mind Games by Kiersten White. While my son was in the hospital, I read Illusions of Fate by Kiersten White. It was one of my Christmas books that I got, and I absolutely loved it. And I was like, I need more books by Kiersten White. And so before Megan and I broke up, she went to Half Price Books, because we don't have them up here, and she got me a couple Kiersten White books, and this is one of them. Mind Games. The next book I have is The Testing. In my dystopian talk video, you guys had told me that this is one of those dystopian series that I need to read that I didn't have on my list, and so I went out and purchased it. And I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a go, give it a shot. I'm not really in a dystopian mood lately, but when I get in there, which will probably be summertime, I will definitely be reading this bad boy. Next book I have is something that was super on sale, and it has a girl with a dress on the cover, and it's got zombies in it, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. And it's Something Strange and Deadly, and this is by Susan Dennard, and I hope I said her name right. Sorry if I didn't. I like butcher names, and I don't mean to because my name gets butchered all the time, but I'm sorry. The next book I have, as you can see, has a giant $2.99 sticker on it, and that is why I purchased it, and it is called The Essence, and it is by Kimberly Durning, and this is, I believe, a fantasy novel, and I was like, yeah, why not? It's $2.99. Next book I have is I Was Here, and this is by Gail Foreman. This is a story about a young woman whose friend passed away, and so she goes through her things and learns things about her friend that she didn't know before. I have not read it yet, but I'm looking forward to reading it. The next book I have is also on sale, and I have the other book in her series called Hush, but this one's called Shiver, and it's by Karen Roberts, and this is an adult romance thriller. I love romance thrillers. I don't know what it is about adult romance thrillers that just totally do it for me, but these kinds of books totally do it for me. The next book I have is also one of my anticipated releases of 2015, and that is Fairest by Marissa Meyer. And this one is kind of tiding us over until winter comes out in the fall. And one of my favorite things about this book, I'm just gonna read. This is why I love bad guys, like absolutely love them and love to read about them. But this thing that she says right here, Lavana had not seen the bodies, but she had seen the bedrooms the next morning, and her first thought was that all that blood would make a very pretty rouge on her lips. Like, how badass is that? Like, yes, that would be my first thought. The next book I have is Black City, and this is by Elizabeth Richards. This one was an impulse purchase just because it mentions a darkling on the inside jacket flap. Right there, it talks about a man darkling with a little boy darkling, and a little boy darkling like saves this girl, and I was like, darkling? I'm gonna buy it. I don't know if any of y'all are aware of my like insane obsession with the darkling from the Shadow and Bone trilogy, because I have like an insane obsession with that character, and I absolutely like obsess. Like when I go to Ren Fair this year, I'm dressing up as a darkling, like, because it makes sense, right? Yeah. Next book I also got on super sale, and that is Etiquette and Espionage. I have a hard time finding this first book, and I found it while I was perusing through Hastings one day because they were having a bargain book sale, and I think sometimes I just bring books out of the back and like during those sales because I'd never seen it there before. So I got it because I don't know. I don't really even know what it's about. I just know it's like steampunky, and it has to do with like a finishing school. The last hardcover I have is The Ruby Circle, and it's by Rochelle Mead. This is the last book in the Bloodlines series, and it is also going to be the last ever book in the Vampire Academy world. And I want to cry about that for a moment. Just cry. I'm gonna cry because I love the Vampire Academy world. I love these books by Rochelle Mead, and I'm so sad I actually haven't even read this one yet because I just don't want the world to end for me, and so please ignore the awful covers. I don't know why she has such awful covers for her books, but they're amazing books, even though the covers are just bad. But it's the last one, and I'm really sad about it. Time to get into all of the paperbacks now that I've already talked for 12 minutes. Let's see. I have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I just finished this book. It's absolutely freaking adorable. Like, ah, man. I don't know what it is about wintertime, but I have to read like cheesy contemporary romances, both of the YA and the adult genres, and I just really love this book. It's about a boy and a girl. They were going on a planned road trip to take her car to her mom, and they end up going on like this crazy like unplanned version of their road trip, and it's really super adorable. Next book I have is an adult fiction, and I'm like so in love with it, and it is The Good Girl, and this is by Mary Kubica, and I hope I'm saying that name right. God, this is awful. I'm so sorry, guys. I loved this book. Holy crap. Holy crap. So it's an adult thriller, and it has dual perspective between the past and the present of this girl getting kidnapped. And I'm like, yes, live for it. Like, I loved the complexity of the characters in this book. Definitely read this if you have not read it yet. It is so good. Next book I have is The Sea of Tranquility, and this is by Katya Millet, and I hope I was saying that right too. No. I read this one recently, and I've been seeing it everywhere, and everyone's like, you need to read this book, you need to read this book, and I was like, I can't find it anywhere, and I don't like ordering books online because they take forever. Well, after about 3 months of searching for this book, I was like, I should probably just order it online. So I did, and it got here, and I read it the minute that it was in my hands, and what heartbreak. This is not a YA, although it does deal with YA-aged characters, but this is definitely an adult fiction. I almost want to say it's a new adult, but I really don't feel like it's new adult. I definitely feel like this is more adult fiction, and I just really love it, and you definitely need to read it. It's dual perspective. I love dual perspective books because I don't know what it is. I read so many books that have a female voice that it's really nice sometimes to get a male voice mixed in. The next book I have is by Kirsten White, is The Chaos of the Stars. I have not read this book yet, but I plan on reading it soon. I don't even really know what it's about, but I like Kirsten White, so I'm gonna read it. And the next book I have, ooh, it's upside down, is The House of Night, and it's the beginnings. It's the first 2 books. And I read the first book, and I hated it. So I'm glad that I got this book because I'm gonna read the second half of this book whenever I get around to it, but it is a paranormal YA book, and I really thought I was gonna love it because there's just I do like Mary Sue type books, and this is one of those, but I did not like the main character. She's just like super unlikable despite like all of the amazing things that she can do. She's just such an unlikable person. And like just some of the things that she says, I'm just like, nah, I can't get behind it. But I'm gonna try and read the second book eventually. But it is The House of Night, and it's by PC and Kristen Cast. The next book I have is by Melinda Lee, and it's Midnight Betrayal. Okay, funny story. So I didn't realize that when I downloaded the Kindle app onto my Nook at Christmas time that I automatically signed up for their Amazon Unlimited, and I kept getting like $10 charges taken out of my account every month, and I was like, what is this from Amazon? So finally I was like, oh my god, I have Amazon Unlimited, I might as well just like take advantage of it. And so I like went on Amazon Unlimited. I realized that half of the books that I bought recently I could have read for free, or for 10 bucks. On Amazon Unlimited. And this is one of those books. It's by Melinda Lee, and it's called Midnight Betrayal, and it is a thriller adult romance. Yes. And the next one I have is also one of those that I could have read for free on Amazon Unlimited before I bought it. And that is I Am Livia, and it is by Phyllis T. Smith. It is a fictional retelling of actual historical events. And I love these kinds of books. This takes place in the time of Caesar, and this woman is like an adult romance, kind of historical fiction kind of thing, and it's awesome. And I haven't read it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it because I love that period of time in history. So the next book I have is Anything He Wants and Castaway by Sarah Fox. I love Sarah Fox. She's one of my favorite new adult authors, and I found this buddy used, and it was only like $4.99, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get it, and I did. I just love those books. There's a certain demographic for that kind of a book, and I am that demographic. I eat those books up. The next book I have is the Morganville Vampires Volume 1. It has the first 2 books. It has Glass House and Dead Girls Don't Dance, and this is by Rachel Kane. And the reason why I got this is because I heard that Morganville Vampires were being turned into a TV series, but I heard that like 2 years ago, and nothing's come of it. And I'm like wondering if it's gonna be turned into a TV series, so I just bought the book just in case so I could like kind of know what's going on. Hey, YA vampires. Always down for that. The next book I have is Meant to Be, and this is by Lauren Morrill. And this is a YA contemporary. I don't know what it's about, but it's a YA contemporary, so chances are it takes place during the summer, and chances are they fall in love. Same with this one, On the Fence by Casey West, YA contemporary. Chances are it's during the summer, and chances are they fall in love after a little bit of conflict. The next book I have is Red Rising, and this is by Pierce Brown. I have Golden Sun, and I was like, I haven't read Red Rising yet, so that's why I got this book. And it comes super highly recommended. Hi, little bun-headed child.
Hey.
All right, the next book I have is Burying Water, and this is by K.A. Tucker. Can we talk about how sad I am right now that this got wet?
This is a book.
Yeah, it's a book. Good job. I read 10 Tiny Breaths, and I absolutely loved it. She is a new adult author, and she's a new adult author, and her books are everywhere. And so I picked up Burying Water. I saw it on sale, and I was like, I have to have it, and I'm actually reading this one right now. The next book I have is Sea of Shadows by Kelly Armstrong.
It's dead.
It's a dragon. I've been eyeing this book for a really long time, but I was waiting for the paperback to come out before I purchased it, and I was like, if it's taking forever for this paperback to come out, and finally I saw it, and I got it, and I'm really excited to read it. The next book I have is The Goddess Test, and this is by Amy Carter. I am obsessed with mythology, completely 100%, and this is a modern retelling of the Hades and Persephone myth. Alright, so that is my book haul. That's not all of the books that I could have talked about in this book haul, but it's about all I've got time for now. Can you say bye? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being so patient about me taking forever to upload some videos. And we will see you next time. Bye.